Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Warning, warning. Snooze fest alert. Warning, warning. Incoming snooze fest. That's what some people are saying about damn Frank Sanchez and Ajit Kabayel. They're saying this is going to be a snooze fest. Now, I'll say this, right? Frank Sanchez, he went over there to Saudi and he did what he was supposed to do. You know, got himself a big win. And what some people felt was just a boring fight right up until the point to where he was able to get his big KO. The thing with Kabayel is I don't think anyone really knew who the hell he was. And Kabayel got his butt over there to Saudi Arabia. And he decided, you know what? I'm going to let the world know who I am. And Kabayel did the business against a fighter that a lot of people felt was the next big thing in boxing. You know, Arslanbek Makhmudov. But things didn't quite go the way Makhmudov planned and the way the Saudis and the majority of boxing fans predicted. Not at all. Talk about giving somebody the business. That's exactly what happened with Kabayel and Makhmudov. What it showed us is that Makhmudov, outside of if he can't hurt you, then he's lost in the ring. And as a result, what you saw was Frank Sanchez and Kabayel produced some very, very impressive victories on that Day of Reckoning card out there in Saudi, man. But, you know, the secret societies are full effect, so what you got now is these two who look like they're getting in line to become the mandatory to the WBC strap. But, you know, we have little faith when it comes to the WBC and these guys having their conferences and determining who's going to be the mandatory to the WBC champion. Just like Keith Thurman and Earl Spence, big-ass conference. Keith Thurman and Earl Spence were supposed to fight. It didn't happen. There's a lot of times where you see where the WBC has plans and things don't happen. They're going to do what they want, as is evident, putting Caleb Smith in the ring with Bertabiev instead of allowing the undisputed distinction between Bertabiev and Bivol. But nonetheless, it's been ordered by the WBC for Sanchez and Kabayel to get in the ring. And what we're going to see is if these two can make some kind of agreement. This is the problem, right? How the hell are these guys going to negotiate, you know, a purse split? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how much money is on the table for these guys unless they're fighting in Saudi? Now, if they're fighting in Saudi, I don't understand when I read a couple articles, Boxing Scene, and there was something I think on Yahoo, right? But they're out here talking about a negotiating period, right? Between the representatives. I'm like, what negotiating period? Because I always thought the Saudis, they just say, hey, you talk to us and we negotiate your fight purse. But for Frank Sanchez and Kabayel to sit here and negotiate, it makes me wonder if this fight is going to even happen in Saudi. So it makes me wonder what's going to take place here. But nonetheless, right now, Anthony Joshua is the WBC's #1 ranked heavyweight contender. But you just don't know what's going to happen in the heavyweight division because you have Flip Hrgovic, who I truly believe they paid Flip Hrgovic step-aside money to allow AJ to go to fight Ngannou, then after that to go directly and get a fight against the undisputed champion, whoever wins between Fury and Usyk. You can't make me believe that Hrgovic is just okay sitting on the sideline fighting guys like who he fought in Saudi, which was a joke, right? To allow, Joshua to go on and fight for all the glory, all the marbles. It just doesn't make this sense. It doesn't make sense. But we'll see what happens if AJ's going to end up fighting Hrgovic, if AJ's going against the undisputed route, if Hrgovic's going to have to do something else. Like, to be honest with you right now, I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen between Fury, Usyk, Hrgovic, and AJ. Very, very interested. Now, that being said, a lot of people still believe that someone's going to get stripped of that IBF belt, whoever wins between Fury and Usyk, if they don't go and fight the mandatory Hrgovic, because Hrgovic's ranked number 1 by the IBF, which is, I believe Joshua is ranked, I think, number 3. So, if no one gets stripped, that just lets you know that the secret society is in full effect. Okay? I already said in other videos, I personally think the secret society is trying to line up Joseph Parker for that undisputed distinction bout. If you just look at how Joseph Parker's career has been over the last 24 months, to me it makes me wonder, why is he the chosen one to have all these fights and to all of a sudden be in the position he's in? Okay, get me wrong, he had to go win them, but it just makes you wonder how a guy can return after 2 back-to-back losses and look average to come out here looking like a goddamn a flashback to Muhammad Ali. Makes you wonder how Joseph Parker has all of a sudden been able to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and do all these miraculous things with the stamina of a stallion, the chin of Foreman. You know what I'm saying? It just, where'd that come from? And I'm gonna hold my position on that. But that being said, Joseph Parker has an uphill battle because he's about to get in the ring with Zhilei Zhang, which is going to be taking place on March 8th in Saudi. And I'm telling you right now, I just find it hard to go against Zhilei Zhang. I can't go against Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei Zhang can fight. He's highly skilled. And I think he walks Joshua into either the left hand or the right hook. And I think when Joshua gets bing-binged, the Chinese bing-bing, he's out of there. But if he wants to beat Zhang, and become the WBO interim champ, look, Parker drops out those WBC rankings. And this is something y'all got to understand. Sometimes these guys, but if he wins, then he's the WBO interim champ. If he loses, he may drop a few rankings in the WBC, but he's still there. So I don't think Joshua wants to lose, period. But I just think he's in the fight the way. I just don't think he can win. But we'll see. I think Zhang goes on to be in a mandatory position, but I still don't think nobody will fight Zhang. Maybe Usyk will, but that's it. But outside of that, AJ and Sanchez and Kabayel, who's going to fight? Look, AJ has a fight coming up with Ngannou. He's also fighting on the 8th of March. They have a huge fight card with all these guys in the same bout, same fight card. But I just think Sanchez and Kabayel, and the winner of that, going on to, for some reason, AJ doesn't get what he wants, right? If they have to go on to fight AJ, I think Sanchez has a better chance against AJ than Kabayel. But Kabayel can box, man. He can fight. But, I just have to wonder. When you look at Kabayel, right? You look at Sanchez. Because, with the secret society, you see the guys who go on to get opportunities, right? They almost have to be likable. They almost have to appeal to the public. There has to be something about them. I mean, when you're talking about Kabayel and Frank Sanchez, you're talking, even though I like watching Frank Sanchez fight, he can fight, man. But they don't have that star power about them. Like the secret society is not going to get behind somebody who doesn't have star power. And for those of you who are saying, Hood Champion, what are you talking about? You're taking it to the stupid. Because look at Terrence Crawford. As amazing as he is, he doesn't have star power. And the secret society, even with all of his accomplishments, they're still not behind him. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be something about you. Mayweather had star power. De La Hoya has star power. Sugar Ray Leonard has star power. AJ has star power. Sugar Shane Mosley, he wasn't never as big as De La Hoya and Floyd as far as his star power, but he had star power. Canelo has star power. Gervonta Davis has star power. Earl Spence, has star power. There's got to be something about you. When you think about a guy named Kabayel, there's not a goddamn thing star power-ish about him. And Frank Sanchez, there's not a goddamn thing star power-ish about him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they can't fight. Both of them can fight. But I just can't see them going on to get the opportunities that maybe they would have earned. I think they'll get put in holding patterns or be put in uphill type fights to where they aren't the favorite to win. I just couldn't see Kabayel coming out here now and fighting AJ and beating AJ, and then all of a sudden Kabayel's fighting for undisputed. I just can't see that. Frank Sanchez, I could kind of see it, but at the end of the day, I don't think that'll happen. I think those guys will get stuck with fighting a bunch of Otto Wallens and a bunch of other guys at heavyweight, just to keep them busy, keep them active, but they'll never get the big opportunities that maybe a lot of fight fans feel they would have earned. But that being said, I'm excited about this fight because I think it's a chess match, and Kabayel showed me that there's something special about him. Frank Sanchez is like an Erislandy Lara, Cuban-style boxer. He's going to move around, try to line you up and let his shots go. Frank Sanchez is looking good under Eddie Reynoso. Glad to see him back with him. But when these two come together, look, I don't expect a mash-up, crash-up. I expect a snooze fest. And I think people in the crowd are going to probably have canned tomatoes in their pockets, and they're going to take them out and start throwing canned tomatoes at these fighters as a result of the lack of activity and the lack of mash-up, crash-up, and violence that fighters want to see. That being said, keep cool, great fight, but alert, snooze fest imminent in the breeze.